Shadowrun's a clusterfuck. IT? Yeah, what about him? Yikes. Yep. Just so you know, we're live, but we're at the starting screen. Oh. I'm eating a burrito, so I don't kill everybody. Literally everything is better than Shadowrun, though. Okay.
Did that place get
Oh
renamed?
God. Well, I tried to say okay, hi, but oh good, my Discord is doing that thing where it jitters all over the place again.
Oh.
Howdy, folks. We're here. We're definitely not awake.
I'm in a dressing gown.
Owen is in a dressing gown. I am still not cogent. Welcome to today's episode of Tales of Yoranta.
Hello.
Larak edition.
High energy. That's a good point. It's no longer Tales of Yoranta.
The Wailing
'Cause
Seas.
We're not in Yoranta anymore,
Oh,
kiddos.
so
Wait.
is it Tales of Larak, I guess?
Tales of Larak. No, it's still Tales of Yoranta because we're telling a story about Yoranta, right? Because we're gonna go back.
Yeah.
We gotta go back to
we're
get
doing
someone
shit
a new
here
arm.
to fix shit up over there.
True.
Also, I thought Yoranta was the planet until just now,
Mm,
and not the continent.
things we learn. I am still working on the glossary of this thing. So, that's a thing. It's right here. This giant pile of books. All the notes I've ever taken. And I have good news. The first book of notes, which is episodes 1 through 17, has been fully transcribed into cogent information.
Hell
I
yeah.
am now on
I see that.
episode... I am sorry, my brain's working at about quarter speed. My raid was like, hey, let's do flawless Deepstone Kryptonite. I was like, fuck. I'm now on episode 21
Nice.
out of 75. It's gonna be a while.
Was it 14 that we're missing? Confirmed, yeah?
Oh, look at the VODs.
One of the VODs. Yeah.
It is literally, the VOD of that episode is literally me talking about that episode from my notes, so you'll know it when you find
Okay.
it. It's
Okay.
literally the screen of old art and me talking somewhere in Sweden.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, you were still in Sweden though?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a bit of Tales of Yoranta where I was still running back and forth. Not a lot of it, but some of it. So
You kind of put my my many different houses in the background to shame with many different countries
just two. But
on either side of an ocean.
fair enough. That way is north. It's
Doxed.
just because my house faces north, so whatever. But yeah, we're here. Here's a cool map that I think Owen made. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool fucking map, and the party is here. So, Anton, save me from myself. I'm talking and I can't shut up.
The thing I was saying when I rudely interrupted you was, I read Deadriver as Deadriver at first.
Deadriver.
Deadriver.
It is how it's pronounced in the local
Okay.
language.
Deadriver.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's Welsh or
Deadriver.
whatever.
I refuse to believe this.
Deadriver.
Yeah.
Deadriver.
Deadriver. In Welsh, I think it would be.
Huh.
Nice.
Vaguely similar in French.
Session last week, we had barely won a Hydra fight, and Soren's arm was broken as a result of it. Like permanently damaged, and he was a bit loopy and delirious. Flew back to the boat, splinted him up. He had some weird dreams where he talked to Freyren about the nature of the world and Eidolons and stuff like that. And despite our best magic, Soren's arm is still fucked up, so we've got a one-armed wizard at present who has to roll a D% anytime he uses somatic component.
Help.
Yeah. But we did go back to the temple, and it looked like it had been purified, because I cast a 5th level banishment.
Here you go.
And then we had some downtime. Vigil learned sailing. Enzo did the fantasy version of watching the TV Um, just gathering news. And Soren started working more on his book decoding. So that's going.
Which you have finished. Sorry, and if you check the
Oh.
Duties of Time handout, there is a journal entry at the bottom.
Ooh, like
Finish the whole
Oh,
book or
and-
just that one step?
book.
Just that one page.
Oh, the one
Okay.
page.
Oh, and one thing I did meant to ask you, I completely forgot last session.
Mm-hmm.
Through this time of learning boat 2.0, do I now have above basic bitch boat proficiency?
Yes. I would
So
say.
do I just have just boat vehicle proficiency now?
It'll be water vehicle.
Sick. Hell yeah. I
Yeah,
now
proficiency.
have water vehicle proficiency. Hell yeah. Thank you.
Because this isn't the first time you've devoted downtime to it, right?
It's been a few times.
No,
yeah.
second time. Second or third, I think.
Not bad.
So, we left off with a cry of land ho as the coast was spotted. And on the distant horizon, what looks like it's almost like a dust storm or a sandstorm. There's a distant sort of brown haze just along the horizon that kind of seems to rise up to the clouds. The ship begins turning north, away from that distant haze, following the shore, which looks somewhat mundane. There's somewhat rocky, low cliffs and places, pebbled beaches, and plants growing wildly. Occasionally, creatures on the beaches basking in the warmth, but there's nothing else. There's no sign of any civilization. There's no towns, ports, as such as the ship turns northward.
I will go find Soren as we're sailing past. Or sailing even towards it. Sort of. Before we sail away from it.
Yeah, Soren is probably hasn't slept that much recently. Has been decoding pages. a page. He's doing that thing that grad students do when they're either on a tear or they have a deadline, which is you haven't seen him in a few days except to get food and disappear again. So he's exactly where you left him, which is at his desk in his cabin.
Okay. I'll fetch Vigil too, just so you can be in on this convo.
The room has a distinct odor.
It does not.
Not a bad odor, it just smells slightly like someone's been sat in here for days on end,
Bathes.
studying books.
Smells like books. Probably incense.
Yeah.
It smells a little
Wizard
too
odor.
strongly of incense. I get you.
He's got a window propped open, like one of those little circular port windows.
Fair enough. Roll for hygiene.
Is that a con save?
Animal handling, I think.
Let's see here. Let's go ahead and make this at... Oh, 18. He's fine.
It's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
Remembered to wash.
He did.
Yeah. Better than 90% of the sailors. If not 99. Soren, you,
What? Sorry, yeah?
I'm not interrupting.
No, actually, I've just, figured out page. So, what can I help you with?
Well, I don't know if you've looked out the window, but we're sailing. Well, we're about to be sailing away from the calamity. We're sort of at the midpoint right now. The closest approach, you could say.
Wait, really?
Yeah, take a look.
Soren gets up from the desk, shuffles up the stairs to go up to the deck. Doesn't even look at y'all. Just picks up his notes and just takes them with him.
As we're going up, I will keep talking. I'm glad you mirror my excitement, because this is the closest we'll be next to it for quite some time. And I
Yeah.
was thinking is there any way we can scout or have a look inside?
Well, I've learned some interesting things about it actually with this last page I just translated.
Your page has stuff on the Calamity.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very narratively appropriate.
I know, right? What?
Weird that.
No, Sharir
Stares
was
directly into the camera.
saying that from there have been at least 1,091 cycles, which is a version of this world over and over and over again. That's a very arbitrary number to throw out, but that's what it says from the 1091st cycle. The Calamity has appeared at the exact same time, in the exact same location, in every cycle since. So it's a persistent part of this world, for whatever reason. Interesting.
Who wrote this book again?
Arianril Sharir, she's an elven wizard. Wrote a lot on time. First people to do it, they all thought she was mad.
How could anyone... It's crazy. How could anyone know that the world had 1,000 cycles? Or is that precisely too?
Well, I have no idea, but we do know things that police time exists, so we have to assume that there's someone who knows how many cycles this world has had. The known universe is more vast than we could imagine. Anyway, doesn't matter right now. She did think about going to try to visit as an extended visit to a pre-calamity cycle, but basically said that the inevitable consequences would be too severe to risk, and that the calamity does follow the exact same behavior each time.
When does it appear?
191st cycle.
Wait, I thought each cycle was like a history of the world, or is a cycle like a year?
No. Well, I don't think it is, but it's more like versions of each world. Sort of
Wait.
like all of this has happened before.
Like a repeated loop.
So does the Calamity appear in all of them or in some of them?
Since the 1091st cycle. So yes, it appears in every cycle since then. Like,
since which one? Say that number again.
1091.
I thought 1091 was how many cycles there had been. How many
What are we
cycles
at now then?
I think what Soren was saying was that there have been at least that many
Yes.
because Shira identifies that cycle as.
I don't know
1000.
how many what we're on. I don't know what cycle this is. I'd need to talk to someone who could see outside of cycles, which means the Sphinx, the strange grey fellow we met on the boat, who left. He said he'd meet us in the Calamity. Oh,
So,
point of interest. Apparently the Zerai, the one of the Dragonborn tribes, I think. Yes?
Unclear.
The Zerai are capable of slowing the Calamity's expansion. And they're immune to chronomancy. Which makes me think...
I still haven't understood the previous point. This is wrinkling my brain.
Okay,
So there's thousands of cycles,
yes.
and at number 1091,
The
which is
Calamity.
just one history of our world, in
Yes.
that one the Calamity starts appearing in every cycle.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like a fixture, sort of lancing through multiple cycles.
That's
Maybe
a
it-
crazy amount of info for one page of that book. Holy shit.
Yeah, this book is, Jesus. Whoever that is.
Could say it's dense. Although I guess that doesn't quite cover it.
Apparently, my past self, or my other cycle self, told her a story about visiting a cycle that was destroyed by the Calamity, but
Wait, you're in the book too?
she knows me, yeah.
Is this a recent revelation?
No. Well, I mean, it's recent as in I was reading this book and realized that Arianril somehow knows me. Or a version of me. Tajikar is Minora's, is a past or other cycle version of myself. Or like an alternate version, like...
I hope you understand, Soren, that I'm standing there and just like doing this. I hope you understand that I believe you, but probably I'm one of 3 people in the world that would.
No, it sounds insane, I know.
Mm.
That's why I'm telling you two and not anyone else, especially not any other wizards.
Because if you tell someone else, hey, I found this book, and it tells not only the history of the world, but the history of the world thousands of times over as it has looped. Oh, and also the book specifically mentions me as having given her some of the information. You sound like
A
just
crazy person, I know.
beyond a madman.
For what it's worth, it doesn't have the cycles. It doesn't have the exact history of the cycles in it. It just mentions that there are cycles, and it could be wrong.
Right.
That's the thing. By all accounts, by any other wizards, if you mention Arianril Sharir's work in respectable wizarding circles, you'll get laughed out of the room.
Well, I think what you said convinced me, which is we ran into that time police, so we keep calling it.
Well, I mean, what else do we call him?
And as a creature like that would know, right? So maybe
Chrono
maybe
Cop.
Chrono, yeah.
Corona.
I'm certain Time Cop was a bad 80s movie.
Here's the thing, though, is that there's a bunch of
It was.
it's a long rambling journal and all of this stuff. I mean, she was writing about everything, so and it was all ciphered differently. Like she changes ciphers in the middle of sentences. Anyway, she posits that it's impossible to count the total number of cycles that have occurred, but here she says since the 1091st cycle. So how does she know? The thing is that there's contradictory information here as well. I've even been keeping like a track of a timeline, sort of, and he flips through a pile of notes and just holds it up. And it sort of makes sense, but for whatever it's worth, the calamity occurs somewhere and then before it just sort of... Why are we...
Wait,
Oh,
you just mentioned years.
yeah. This cycle...
Which is
in the year,
Right.
somewhere between the year 1100 and 1200.
This is Anton not knowing now because Enzo would. But what year is it?
1916?
Oh, that's right. It's fucking World War One. The Russian Revolution is next year.
The current year is 1916.
Get ready, Enzo.
The Cavalier Empire collapsed in 1896. And the Lorac Calamity.
Right.
Yes.
So the calamity appears 800 years ago from our present, 8 to 900 years ago.
Yep.
And it does so in every cycle.
Since the 1091st, yes.
We also don't know which cycle we're in.
Right.
We just have a very specific number that it occurred in, which is so strange.
She says the ciphers are there for both of our protections, which doesn't make much sense, but a lot of this book doesn't.
That's very cool. Having said that, getting back to the question,
Yes.
um,
And we scout the calamity.
can we... Is there any way to have a look?
I don't think we should, but it's massive. You know, the calamity is huge, and it's everything in it
Yeah.
is, from what I've read, everything in the community calamity. It messes with reality. It messes with time. It kind of makes me wonder, since it is connected to the Terracon and in all the stories of creation, the tablets that they played with, the earth that they made to play this universal game, that was the first thing that got made, was form from earth. And so if you start messing with the actual form of the... It's sort of connected in my head loosely, and I'm explaining it badly because do you know how much information's up here? It's like walking into a library.
Screams an intelligence 20.
What?
The wizard screams an intelligence 20.
I don't know, guys. That doesn't look that big. It's only 40 feet to the center.
How big roughly is the calamity? Owen?
This is like hurricane size, right? So, like, if we wanted to, it would be tens or hundreds of miles to even reach.
It's the worst.
Through a
Yeah.
hurricane
Yeah.
to the center.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to wonder if there's an eye of the storm at the center of it.
I have to wonder too, and that's why I'm like, with our magic, maybe we could do something to look inside.
Getting through that would be nigh on impossible in itself, wouldn't it? Given the
Here's the
state of it.
Here's the thing. Even Freyrin seemed frightened of it. She didn't want to come close to it. She said if I try to call her here, she won't come.
Do we know any friendly storm giants? Also, why aren't there storm giants here?
Because that's not a storm. That's the whirling vortex of reality warping nonsense.
You just said it's not a storm, it's a storm.
Yeah, okay. Intelligence 20. Sometimes I say really stupid shit. It's not a storm. It's not like a rainstorm, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Might be
but-
worth trying, though.
I mean, we can, but the thing is if we get close to it, I have no idea what's going to happen. Stories of people who've gone into the Calamity are varied and terrifying. Most people who go in don't really come. I think getting close to it might be
I
really
prefer to
dangerous.
stay in this reality as well.
We've been out of it before.
I just
What?
wish we had that Warlock Eye spell, which I think is called... Is Arcane Eye still exist?
I could try scrying on it.
Still
Or,
exist.
I mean, maybe... I don't even think I could send Glimmer in the Ethereal. Which don't
Remind me
worry.
once again, Owen. We had our diviners at... blanking. We had some diviners look at the Terracon,
Yeah.
which
Yes.
we found was at the center of the Calamity.
Didn't they get super fucked up for doing that? Like, they need to recover afterwards.
Did they?
Or am I making that up?
They seemed exhausted by the process. And they described the Terracon being on a small island of kind of stability within the storm.
Eye of the Storm.
I don't know that... I mean, yes, I would like to I would like to try and scout it. I agree with you. I just don't know how we would.
Well, I know how we would, but I don't think you have the Arcane Eye spell, right?
I really don't. I have
30
scrying.
times 600? I mean, even that only gets you 3 miles in. It would be an interesting experiment to send the Arcane Eye 3 miles in and see what it's like, but it'd probably just be like a dust storm on Mars. You'd just see nothing.
Well, I think also we have some immediate concerns we need to leverage. We have Soren. We need to fix your arm in some way.
I mean, I could
Somehow.
manage.
The ship
Not if
in
you
turn
kill us
them.
all with a misshapen fireball.
Okay, then we need to find something.
Yeah.
I honestly think that if we could do it, I would say we should just teleport back to some and then watch this shit make me another one. Just hack the whole.
We can. Enzo can do teleportation circle, but it takes time.
Problem is that if we go through the rift, there's a chance we could really anywhere, or not in the world.
What do you mean if we go through the rift? We've teleported past here and back before.
No, yeah.
No, after the rift.
That was a whole big plot point. When we were discussing how to get to Larak, I was like, why don't we just ask for a teleport here? And it's like, well, no, it doesn't work through the
Magic
rift.
magic just gets weird out here. I mean, we can try, but we might derail the campaign.
We should have... I didn't think of this. We should have gotten a teleport here. Because that's probably a lot safer. I mean, if the fuck-up magic is here, then what you do is you teleport, like, here, you sail for, you take a ferry for, like, 2 hours, and then you teleport from here to where you need to go.
Would that work?
Could be a fun business opportunity.
It depends on how thin this... how muddy this, you know what I mean, like, this barrier is.
It took you a handful of days sailing through the actual rift.
It's still better than the almost 4 weeks we spent actually sailing here, so you get a little Island 1 on the east side, Island 2 on the west side. Connect them by a ferry and just teleport. Well, I think someone can fix your arm in a crash.
Somebody's got it, yeah.
They're
Otherwise,
just as advanced here.
or so. Keep in mind that humans have only been in Yoranta for about 800 years, so this is a civilization that's actually older than what's... and it's still surviving. So, who knows what we'll find here. There's not a lot of contact between Yoranta and back because of Bronian Rift.
Does the rift appear like
Closely.
similarly, or is there any info on that?
What about the Rift?
Well, you said the calamity appears 1100 years ago in each cycle. We haven't learned anything like that about the rift when it appears, have we?
Have we? Yeah.
I don't believe so.
It's interesting to think about. All right, well, we sail away from the calamity and just sort of watch it.
I mean,
I will. You know what? Here's my method of scouting. I roll perception.
Go for it.
I could send Glimmer up to look. Have him send me pictures.
It's far enough away that Glimmer would essentially have to go well more than
Okay, then I'm not sending.
the range.
I actually am rather excited about getting to see Aquarius, by the way.
I've heard a lot about it.
You don't want me to take anything particular today? I haven't really well prepared.
We're days away from anywhere,
Yeah, I know.
so you're good. Me and Vigil are frankly just bored. If anything attacks, we'd relish the action, I think.
Alright.
Your eye is caught by what? Oh, there's a brief illumination. It's almost like a light. It looked like a lightning bolt in a storm, but running horizontal, parallel to the horizon, not bisecting it.
Whoa.
Brief internal glow.
Okay.
I return.
Well, sorry I interrupted you, but also I think you probably needed the break.
No, I'm actually done. I have the feeling, I know this sounds mad, but I have the feeling she doesn't want me to translate the rest.
After everything you've said, leading a sentence in with "I know this sounds mad" is
Oh, yeah, right.
all that stuff was completely reasonable. But here's something that will sound crazy to you.
My god wants me to stop reading a book. Well, I don't sure if I believe you, but the rest of the stuff about the millions of years of existence and thousands of years of history that have already played out, and then the calamity that pierces through all of it, no, that's reasonable. No, I agree.
Okay.
Sail on by.
So we close the scene. Couple more days later, with favorable winds and currents, you pass what Hector refers to as the Wasting Horn. A spur of land juts out into the ocean. Seems to be an important landmark for him. That morning, it's been sort of towards the end of your second week, a few days into your third. Soren, you awake. You're on a ship. To your surprise, though, there is land visible. I still remember you're still about half a week away from hitting land.
I'm sorry, what? Okay, would I notice this discrepancy?
It's surprising. You recall the captain saying you're still 3 days from land.
But there's land.
Yep. You can hear seagulls.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go try to find the others first, because that seems strange. Where's Enzo and Vigil?
About the ship, I would imagine.
Lads?
I'd be onto the top deck, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up. Weren't we just... Didn't the captain just say that we were 3 days away from at least, and there...
Oh, and is this right from our perception? Do we get this as well, as in, like, this is very odd?
No, you saw land about 2 days ago. That's when you first came up and saw the calamity in the distance.
That was about 3 days ago. We are about reaching land now, yes.
Do you remember the past 3 days? Is it just have you been that busy?
I remember the last 3 days.
Yeah, been pretty mundane. You've still working to decode pages of the treaties. Recently, narrowly defeated a Hydra. Your arm still hurts.
Is journal entry 644 still in the Treatise of Time?
The page is there and still in its cipher, but you have... That's weird. You have a sheet of parchment with it translated. But you have no memory of doing so.
When how many days ago did we have, the previous scene where we sailed away from the calamity?
That was 2 days ago.
I call Vigil over. Well, I think Vigil's probably there already, but
Yeah, I finish off tying a rope and then move on over. Vigil's taken quite well to having having at least helping a ship.
That's right.
Has things to do.
Do you remember our conversation 2 days ago?
Do I?
Yes, what about it?
I'm in your vicinity, but speaking to Soren.
Okay, fair.
DM, do I remember the conversation that we had 2 days ago?
You remember a conversation that you had 2 days ago, but it is not the conversation that Enzo is referring to.
What did we talk about?
The calamity.
What about
And-
the calamity?
Well, we were sailing past it, and I was like, should we have a look? And you're like, if I would, I could, but I don't have anything.
Right,
Also,
yeah.
maybe dangerous. And you told me about the whole cycles thing. The calamity appears on cycle 1091.
I remember saying this.
No, it's news to you. Enzo's spouting some crazy shit.
Soren looks at you like you've grown 3 heads. I said that to you, yes?
Yes. Are you? What is the last thing you remember? You have memory loss, I think.
Ew. Look down at the page I translated. What does it say?
It says what you previously read.
Entry number 644 says, yeah?
Yep.
I translated this, told you about it, and then forgot that I did it.
Well,
That's because...
okay. Well, just to be sure.
Yeah.
You ran through 1091 cycles. What Ariane will Sharia and her work. 1091 cycles, multiple realities. We don't know. We don't know what point we're at the moment.
Right.
Multiple cycles.
Yep.
We'd love to scout the Calamity, but we can't.
Right.
There's an island in the middle of it that's potentially an eye in the whole storm thing,
That's
where
what
the
the
Terracon
wizards-
currently lies.
Yes, that's a point of stability. And
That's the conversation we had.
sure, we had that conversation. Yes, I totally.
So, even if we didn't roleplay them, and even if Soren is super busy, well, you said you finished the book. How, from my memory, Owen, what was Soren doing the past 3 days? How busy was he? It's because he said he'd finished the book, right? Or at least that part.
Soren said he felt like Shuria didn't want him
Right.
throwing himself at the translation.
Any further?
So I've probably seen him more the past 3 days than the week before.
Yep.
So I start naming, like, hey, yesterday we were literally sitting in the evening playing cards. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Nope.
No. Did I win?
So I list off a couple things, and we figure out the past 3 days are... Is it a blur in your memory, or is it a black void?
Yeah, is it a hole or is it a blur?
It is a hole that extends for a length of time beyond those 3 days.
What else am I missing?
I just started going back like a day at a time. I have a decent memory, and can probably name interactions I did with someone.
Okay.
How much am I missing?
Last struck, Honeycomb Isles.
Yeah, we almost killed a Hydra, and my arm got fucked up. That's when I started working on the. Oh.
What is the latest?
The last thing that you actually concretely remember, Soren, is your friends essentially saying, no, you have to sleep, you have to rest. Your arm is badly injured. Magic isn't really fixing it. And you think they stayed with you for a night? At least they were there when you went to sleep.
What about the dream I had with Aaron? Remember that?
What dream?
I wrote it down. I would have had to have.
No. It's weird. There's some. Go through your notes. You've got scrolls of notes you've been making on translations that you don't remember doing, but I mean, there's 2 blank pages in the middle of your notes, which normally you keep better track of your organization, but
Who's been bunking with Soren this whole time?
Glimmer. Why are these missing? I don't leave when I bind these specifically when I finish out a page. I put it into my book in the order I wrote it in. I've been doing it since I was a child. Why are there blank pages? I will actually go into my books for a moment and go into Arcane Mind by Voli Bessar Maliarkin and look at the blank pages into the back. 42 of them, each numbered.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything written on these pages?
No.
And the last one, that one blank one in the middle? In chapter
No.
10? Nothing. Why am I missing information from my notes? The fuck did I learn that? Gone now.
I stared at Soren for about a minute. Looking for illusions, or, like, this isn't an imposter, etc. 23 investigation.
Siren checks out.
Any more or less gray hair?
Maybe a strand or 2.
This is real fucked up. You're missing the notes too.
Yeah. Like I know.
That means it's not that you lost your memory. I think it's that you weren't you. Did you say the last thing you remember is us trying, well, you thinking I have to go to sleep, but like also I have to push on to solve this?
Yeah. Yeah, the last thing I all telling me I really needed to rest because I was badly hurt and I wanted to work, and you were like, no, you have to go to bed, you have to sleep, you have to eat. And I was like, look, there's this thing I have to describe because it's important. And
Owen, for
Mhm.
reference, we remember everything as it was. Like, we're good. We remember everything. All the events that have transpired, everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
this is starting to realize why the people messing with time magic. Apparently, it fucks with your head.
I don't think it. This is the. Okay. I feel like I'm sorting right now.
Is that a verb now? All right.
It is.
Okay. Share your hypothesis with me then.
I don't think you lost your memory. I think you were replaced with another you that could work harder for those 3 days.
What?
You said yourself you didn't have the energy or something like that, like you were too tired. And then you lose your memory. I do air quotes. And all this work magically gets done, but then it's gone.
I have no idea.
You follow an eidolon of knowledge. What if you were replaced with another you?
I don't think so. But there is a candle in my room, and it's been burning on and off through them. If I was studying, I had to have had light, right? I can't just stand there with fucking dancing lights all evening. So,
Well, no, Soren, we remember meeting you the past 3 days.
right. But the thing is, there's been times where you weren't with me, where Glimmer wasn't with me, but a candle was. So what if I look back into? What if I try to look
Oh,
back in
you're
time
saying
and see?
firesight off the
Yeah.
candle?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Let's do that. That's such a good idea.
All right. I haven't done my preparation for move over sending because I'm really not using. Any
That's fair.
sendings that I've tried to cast to the rift have gotten probably garbled or not delivered, or if any of them made it. Thorin does
There's a
have.
lot of psychic distortion.
Okay, so Thorin will go into his room and cast Fire Sight for. Let's see here. The increment. Just says each spell slot adds more time, and the base spell adds 7 days of time. So Soren will look back, say, into the hole where his memory is. So 3 days ago.
Okay. You cast a spell.
Yeah.
Roll me a d100, please. Okay. You cast successfully.
Right.
So you're picking a 10-minute window just 3 days ago from now.
3 days ago, yeah, when I would have been working or when I would have been alone. So towards the evening time when I. Soren's pretty a creature of not absolute habits, but he does have a tendency to work well into the early morning hours, which is why he's not a morning guy. So, sometime where I would have been alone, logically speaking.
It is a scene you'd expect that you see looking out from the small window of the candle. Is you. Oh, you need to work on your posture when you're studying. That's you hunched over a desk, pouring through, making notes. Glimmer curled up on the bunk. Asking you about some question about fish scales that you're really not sure of the answer.
Okay, and if
Seems
I.
to be a normal.
What if I look down at the notes I'm writing? What am I working on?
Focusing the vision, slight sort of strain on the temples. But you are writing that document that you don't remember writing. letters at a time. You recognize the page you're translating as well as journal entry
644.
644.
So you number your own journal entries?
Hers. But 644 is
Oh.
her. But yeah, Soren would actually number
Right,
his
so
by date.
that's the translation of
Yeah.
her entry 644.
So after a moment, Soren kind of shakes his head. His eyes kind of clear from the fire that they go completely like molten gold when he's casting Fire Sight. Blinks a few times. Nope, that's still me. Just don't remember doing it. My posture is terrible. Why hasn't anyone told me my posture is terrible?
I have.
Yeah, actually, I've alright. Get like a pillow or something.
I could zap you with lightning every time you hunch.
Alright. I'm gonna regret that, but it helps my back stop hurting, sure. Nope, I just don't remember it. I was here. I was working on it.
Are you sure it was you?
Am I sure it was me?
That's kind of my point. You have learned from your spell that someone who looked like you was in your room working.
I'll cast it again, same point of time. Or 5 minutes after, if the spell says, hey, you already visited that point. Do that D100 while I'm at it.
Oh god, it's D100 each time.
Oh, shit!
That's
think-
fine.
I think
okay.
high is bad.
High is bad.
It's high as bad, yeah.
Yeah, 90 and up is bad. Okay.
Yes, those are the numbers. It is a continuation of that scene.
Alright, I will look at myself intently, because Thorin's not face blind. And knows what he looks like.
Make me an insight check.
Sure. Fuck me.
Are you...
I can't. It is me, though. Like,
Yeah, looks like you.
taking the
Of all
1 or the
times,
28.
that one.
Damn. I mean, it's funner this way. So Soren comes out of the spell and you're not sure.
Oh, looks like me. Gray hair. Like I haven't eaten in 2 days. Haven't slept in longer. My beard going gray?
I'm gonna do a couple things.
Hey.
First of all, ping divine sense. I want to be sure there's not some fuckery going on.
Always forget what the categories for that it picks up again. Is it celestial? Undead?
I will double check. Yeah, celestial, fiend, undead. Yes,
And time travelers. It's in there.
and Matt Smith. He's under one of them as too. Divine sense. Boo. 60
And
feet.
Tory
not total
voters.
An extra played by
Bastard.
dead lieutenant walks past and doesn't ping. No such creatures within the presence.
Hey, here's a question.
And
just
then
sideways for you. Do Genasi and count as celestials, given how the world is constructed? Or celestials considered extraplanar? Oh yeah, sure. Pop out the lantern. Boonk.
And then I will, as the other thing I was going to do. Can I say during my daily
would not.
preparations?
Genasi would not trigger as a celestials. They are humanoid, not celestials.
Cool.
In the same way that they are not considered elementals.
Can I say during my daily preparations today, I could have prepared remove curse?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm going to do a few things.
Alright.
I'm not sure how much of this will be relevant, but I'm going to do a few things.
Like narratively, I could say no, and then you prepare it the next day.
Yeah.
Like, it's yes,
Okay.
you can say you have the means of
Okay.
casting the spell.
All right. First of all, detect magic. What do I see? What do my tiefling eyes see?
Oh.
Perception check.
Okay.
Perception or investigation. Your choice. But you see what you would expect. The items illuminate with magic.
I'll take the investigation. It's a 5. No, I'm gonna correct my man, I think, actually,
Okay.
because I have another one. So do I just re-roll it?
Yep.
Go for the high. Okay, it's a 12. It's better than nothing.
12. Reasonably sure nothing's amiss.
Just out
Everything
of
is as you
curiosity.
expect.
All right, and then given that nothing's fucky, I will walk up to Soren, put my hand on his shoulder, and cast Remove Curse.
Okay.
Anything happen?
No. I
You're
really
fine.
feel no different.
You're fine. Normal. Can't remember.
So then let's try something.
Okay.
You have to let my spell work on you, though.
Okay. What are you doing?
I'm going to take a peek into your memory. Because I can do these things now.
Just be careful, alright? It's a little weird in there.
I won't, I'll be careful.
Alright. Have at it. I'll sit down though.
Yeah, gonna sit down in a chair facing away from Soren, like we're some sort of weird therapist, hypnotist, you know. I'm gonna cast Modify Memory.
Okay.
I'm assuming we can say Soren Auto willingly fails to save.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a rule I always remember. The players can always voluntarily fail.
Cool. So takes a minute. While the charm lasts, you can affect the target's memory of an event that experienced within the last 24 hours that lasted no more than 10 minutes. So I don't know how there's no. You must speak to the target to describe how its memories are affected. Interesting. So I probably can't. It's probably the spell's too limited. I can't like look at his memories. It's modify memory, not see memory.
Yeah, unfortunately so.
Okay. Well, maybe on the off chance, maybe this will trigger him to remember. So I will describe in detail about that game of cards we played last night and remember, oh, you were winning, but then I totally didn't cheat and suddenly had the best hand. And then I won. And then Glimmer knocked over the table, you know.
Soren, make me an intelligence saving throw.
You have vigil bonus.
27.
30, actually.
30.
That's a 30. You remember nothing.
There's nothing there.
So wait, the spell goes off. I cast Modify Memory. It should work, and Soren still doesn't remember.
That wasn't against your modified memory.
So
Unless, wait, were you... Sorry, I might have misunderstood your intent there. Were you, as part of the spell modified memory, describing the card game from last night?
yes, describing a real event that happened, and
Okay.
and obviously that alone might be the
Okay,
only thing that sticks.
I see.
But I'm hoping that maybe it'll trigger the
sorry,
rest of the
okay.
memories to come back.
So sorry, can you make me? I will take the d20 roll from that, but apply the wisdom.
Wait, with Vigil bonus, it's a 22. I read the wrong number. Right?
21.
Yeah, so this is the modified memory, but
21,
you were choosing to fail the
Yeah.
saving throw for the modified memory.
Right.
So Enzo describes this card game as accurately as he can remember from last night. You fail the saving throw, and yeah, you can remember playing Enzo with the card last night. You don't remember how you got to the table, or where you went afterwards, though. It is that 10-minute window that Enzo describes is in there as memory.
Right. Okay, so I've only repaired. Yeah, okay. Anything else? Anything else around it?
Nope. Nothing. Don't remember how I got there. Don't know what I did afterwards. That's fun.
Well, that's something else.
Glimmer is perched on your shoulder as a magpie visual. Leans close to your ear and whispers quietly, so no one else in the room can hear.
Okay.
I know I was supposed to keep watch on him last night, but I did sneak away for a while. It was at about what you'd call 2 a.m. I don't want to tell him.
I will excuse myself briefly. With the bird. I will briefly excuse myself around the corner or something. Tell him what? You went there?
Yes, but he trusts me. I thought I heard a rat.
Right.
And I can't remember anything. What if something happened? What if it's my fault?
Okay, look. Listen. This is not something we can solve by panicking over it. It's something we'll have to approach reasonably and see if there is a solution. If there isn't, then we need to have an insurance mechanism in place. A recollection of events that Soren has that we all share. Which means in the future, if this happens again, we can tell him the events that have happened. That's all we can do.
I remember parts of the
now-
dream. I could throw those at
You
him.
remember the dream?
No, a few scattered images. Very strange.
Do you think it'll help?
Can't exactly get any madder.
I don't think he's going to get mad at you. I think telling him the parts of the dream that you remember might be a good idea. If anything, telling him that might aid things. In addition, I'm going to ask him to contact Freyren and see if she knows anything about this. Maybe perhaps she can restore the memories. Who knows? Knowledge and everything. Even though she said doing it out this far would be difficult, if not impossible. You do not panic. You are the one he's going to seek.
I'm not panicking.
Yes, you are. You are the one he's going to seek for composure. Talk to him. Tell him what you know so far. You are one of his most stalwart companions. Stick with that.
Okay.
Good?
As I can be.
That's something we all know so well.
So, what is your plan going forward?
I go back to Soren I glimmer, hand, shoulder, Soren shoulder.
Hi. The bird.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Glimmer.
It can wait.
There is literally. We just discussed this. Now is the time. Just speak it,
23
and
insight.
it may aid in the problem.
It's too crowded. I don't.
There are 3 of us. Are there any crew around, or is it just us?
It's
Just us 4.
I'll ask him in Sylvan. What is it?
Just kind of remembers that you share that. Of course. I didn't. I wasn't with you for all of last night,
No.
and I was supposed to, but I went rat hunting.
Got bored and wandered off.
Yes, I heard a squeaking outside and thought I would hunt the fiend down. But
Why are you so upset? What happened?
because you can't remember,
Oh.
it sounds like a week or more. And there was a dream you had, which you know how sometimes you overshare, and I can show you the memories I have of that. I don't want to hurt you.
Why would you hurt me?
I don't know. Maybe it's bad.
I don't think you would willingly hurt me, and if you do it unintentionally, I won't be angry.
All right. Well, you're already sitting down, so closes his eyes, and you are hit with 3 images. One of a glittering humanoid form, offering you a hand. One of a fire trapped behind a gold-rimmed a lens, and a world spotted with lights filled before you. You have no memory of these images. They are strange and difficult to comprehend.
And you saw that out of my mind. I say in common.
Yes? He says in Sylvan.
Okay.
I didn't know what was going on, but it seemed important to you, and now it's gone.
That is distressing.
Yes. This good bloody thing you wrote down in the notes on the book.
I feel like I would have written that down too.
Out of character
Ooh,
note, did
wait.
Soren tell us about the dream?
Of course I did.
Yeah,
But I
believe
woke
so.
up.
Which dream was this? I'm a little lost.
Soren woke up
This
and
was
started rambling
the
about
Freyrin dream.
the nature of the universe and how.
Oh, that was like long ago, though, right? That was like 4. Wait, that was
It's like a
before
week
the
ago.
memory loss.
But I don't remember
So
the
you-
dream either.
Wait, so there's an event
the-
outside those 3 days that you don't remember?
Soren seems to have gotten more than 3 days.
Or like a week.
That's what I said
Yeah, it was-
earlier.
it's like-
It was
it was like a
the
week.
night. It was the night before that dream that it seems to have started.
Okay, so it started right before that dream. Wait, that dream was the night that we brought you back to the ship after the Hydra fight. So basically, shortly after.
Yep.
We return you to the ship. You have no memory. Shit.
But I would have told you about it.
All
I'm
right,
sure I would
well-
have taken notes on that dream, because that's wild.
You did tell us about the dream. I think you even told us in character, yeah.
No, I did tell you guys in character.
Yeah.
Someone woke up, he talked about it.
Good. Then, Owen, can I, using the best of my memory, recount what Soren told me about the dream?
I told you there was a night where Kavol was sorry.
Yeah. That's why I would fucking remember that.
Yeah. You certainly can.
So I will tell Soren the full thing to the best of my ability.
Firing came.
Mm-hmm. This is exactly what you told me. There was a missing something where Kavol was,
Yeah.
and then everything else.
Well, here's what I can definitely say. I think you shouldn't read that book anymore.
Well.
No.
At least
Soren?
not the part that's still ciphered. There's like 4 or 5 pages at the
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. If it's already deciphered, it's probably safe. But you shouldn't work on it anymore. You're losing memory. That's fucked up.
Yes. Is it?
Yes.
Extremely so.
I don't know why you're all upset about this. This is
Maybe this is just how my brain thinks, but I'm worried that you didn't lose memory. I'm worried that you weren't here and it was someone else who looked like you. Or maybe it was you, but from a different place or time.
You're a mortal wizard. Everything you do is memory.
yeah.
Can't have you forgetting all of your magic.
Get that. I wonder if some of the ciphers she put on designed to.
Maybe the information is meant to be forgotten, but then we still remember it, so that's kind of useless.
I need to talk to her. But your theory about maybe the more you get in contact, the less angry.
Is there? Yeah, that's my thinking. I mean, we've met Tajikar, who's another version of you. It's not that wild to think that the person here for the last week was another version of you.
Maybe.
Soren,
The thing
this is
about
gonna
cycles.
no, go ahead.
No, the thing about cycles is that their events sometimes happen exactly the same way, but with subtle differences. So it's possible that a me from a different cycle could have been transposed here and had an almost identical life, except for some instance we can't remember. Human memory is very fallible, so I write things down. And at the end of that, or whenever, this me, back or something.
This is gonna sound weird.
Hmm.
Is there something? Is there something that's very strange for you to do that you would not have done in any other timeline?
How am I supposed
That-
to do that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Can we put a tattoo on you and then it's the only version of you that has a tattoo, and then we know that anyone that, you know what I mean?
But everything, if this theory is to believe, if this theory is to be believed, then it means that every potential other version of Soren would have had the same decision thrown at him.
Or one like it.
There's nothing we can do. Exactly. There's nothing we can do to prevent an alternate path if it is the same? I hate this.
Time is complicated.
Mm-hmm.
You know who isn't inside time? Sphinx.
Oh.
Well, I mean, Sphinx and the Grey Man, who's... I named him Sojourner, but said he didn't.
Wait, you said you were meeting that sojourner somewhere.
In the Calamity. Said he'd see me
in-
there.
In the Calamity?
Apparently.
What if the... Huh. If the sojourner is Ariel?
He has a memory like...
Okay. So you're not going to work on that book anymore, right?
No, I really can't. The last 5 pages changed so fast that I...
And if you could, you would?
Yeah! I want to know what it says. But if you don't want me to, for now I won't, until I'm stronger or something. Figure out a way to anchor myself more securely here, not lose memory.
I don't think you should. You don't know what it's doing to you.
No idea. Don't really care, but...
You should care.
Should I?
We do.
This is one of the greatest magical discoveries of our time. And you're worried about a little bit of memory loss.
Yes.
Yes.
That is precisely
Frank.
that is precisely what I'm saying.
You do know that we really ultimately don't matter. The things we leave behind, the things we discover, that's what's important. It doesn't matter who does it.
That's where you're wrong. You are the first living theurge in a very long time.
Sure.
That's where you're wrong.
And you're one of
Currently,
the only...
your life matters quite... All 3 of our lives have pertinence now. We've played a hand in large events to come, and you jeopardizing that by continuing to research on this thing that you don't know what it does yet is going to play havoc with the rest of the world. Like it or not, your life means something now. Even if you thought it didn't before.
It really has, but that's like humans in general.
Well, if it didn't before, it does now.
Alright, I won't do any more translation. I've got other spells to work.
Do you remember all of your spells? The ones from before the week?
I mean, I haven't learned anything new, so yeah. Flip through my spell book, have a look at all of it. All looks familiar, yeah.
Yeah. There's a few small calculations and such that you did in that week that are new, but
Nothing groundbreaking.
look at it and go, oh, that makes sense. Finally worked.
Guess
out
what? You
absolutely.
forgot teleport. Enjoy!
You forgot everything above 2nd level.
Oh boy.
And your spells book caught fire. So
It's one of those magic ones that can't take
it really caught fire. It was hot.
Dren got to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeehaw.
Are we good? Feels like that's reached an actual
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Weird.
That night.
Incredibly weird. I'm gonna bunk with Soren from now on.
Oh, come on.
Can I... Enzo starts doing something almost immediately after I leave the room. In fact, I want to do it once almost immediately after I leave the room. Go to
Okay.
my room and close the door. And I will use the Eye of... Is it the Eye of Memnor?
Yeah.
Scry, and I'll choose Soren Ashmere as the target.
Sorry, make me a wisdom saving throw.
22.
You succeed. And the scry fails.
So once per day, or if failed saves allow me more often, I'm going to almost obsessively, in a Soren-like manner, scry on Soren. Hoping to catch someone who's not on a boat 10 feet away from me. It's probably unlikely, though.
How many wisdom saves do you want?
Make me 3.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
18. That fails.
Okay, for the next chunk of kind of downtime travel, Soren's mental fortitude is too great.
Jesus, sorry.
It's alright.
Actually, I thought 18
Well,
would
with Vigil,
would fail against the Eye of Memnor save.
Uh,
I think it's DC 18.
17 flat.
Sorry.
My god.
Sorry about my wisdom saves.
You're a wizard.
I am in fact a wizard. I have +9 to wisdom.
Several more days at sea. I'm becoming painfully monotonous at this point. Insert reference to current pop culture shanty trend here. A great time.
The Wellerman arrives.
Yeah,
Many drunken sailors to be had.
sugar and tea and rum.
Yeah.
In Weatherman.
Sailing down to Deadriver.
Past Deadriver, right?
Well, speaking of, Hector has been following the coast the whole time. Not a fan of ocean travel. And it's coming to the point where he needs to decide to make for port or keep going. There is a smoke that all three smoke. Hashtag spoiler. There is a cry that you all hear of smoke on the horizon.
Well, shit.
Sure. I mean, Vigil's gonna be. When is this in the? When is this in the day? Said.
This is about 4:30 in the afternoon. So the sun is low in the sky, but not quite setting.
Vigil is going to be occupying his time primarily with how's the boat doing, and keeping an eye on the wizard. So I'll be helping out with the crew.
Oh, bugging me. Sorry, I started going that night, and then completely something's happened. Sorry. The night after your long conversation about what exactly has happened to Soren. This is before the fire of smoke. Apologies, that was my bad. I just completely...
Okay.
brain.
Oh, so this is before that. Okay.
Smoke,
Right.
Yeah,
smoke in the future. Hold the
Smoke
smoke.
is in about 4 days.
Alright.
That night, Soren,
Yes.
you are sleeping,
Hmm?
and you awaken in a familiar room.
Where am
It
I?
is a small archive cubby, one you are familiar with. There is a bookshelves all around you, and a cat before you.
I know this cat, don't I?
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing in my dreams again? I thought you weren't supposed to be here.
Are you alright? It's not there.
I don't think I'm.
How is it not there?
I've been trying to translate Shrir's book, but isn't it dangerous for you to be here?
You have no memory of what I told you.
Simmer showed me a few things. I think showed me something. The sun's a lens?
They all are, really.
Okay.
Strange.
Are you okay? I mean, said
Something is toying with us, I think.
something like bull or
I'm going to show you something, Soren. I've shown you it before. It is Perspective altering, perhaps. No, I hope you do not think less of me. Here. The cat transforms, the body warping into a figure that you remember from the image that glimmers flash you. The illuminated humanoid form.
Right.
A figure of pure energy. Offers you a hand.
Take it, I guess, again.
And it is much as you don't remember. It's more of a bullet point experience from Freyrin's behalf. You sense that she is perhaps impatient. She reveals to you how she sees the world, the matrix of life and souls, a net cast around the world. How she feeds and plucks energy from that, returning it as motes of light. And how you two might partake in the same cycle, using the energy of life in that moment of death to your own benefit.
Before, I am grateful, even though I don't remember.
If this happens again, pray to me.
Okay.
Which you won't remember if it happens again, so...
If my memory starts getting messed up again, I'll let you know. Is the rift messing with
It is perhaps more costly, but easier whilst you sleep.
Try to remember.
Thank you, son.
Yeah.
I would stay a while, but... farewell.
Okay.
She is a cat and bounds up and out of the small room, which you realise you're now in again. And you awaken.
This is like Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. What time is it?
Your memories in that gap have not been restored. You have simply relived the dream and once more have the 14th level
Thanks.
ability, which you had lost. And then, to catch up with where we were a few days later.
Wow, we're just jumping around in time. It's like a meta commentary.
Yeah, apologies for that. A few days later, there is a cry of smoke on the horizon. The ship's crew ready with a mix of dread and excitement. And Captain Hector calls for you all to come up on deck.
I'm already on deck.
Same. I'm helping with the boat, as I said.
Soren probably
Mitchell's
looks like
part of the ship, part of the crew.
I'm just on deck because being underneath is boring and we're finally sailing past things as opposed to open ocean.
Soren comes up on deck.
Yeah.
Vigil's sort of getting into ship travel now.
Spell slots.
You
Ever
just
so
want
slightly.
alternate ship vigil art.
Nah,
working on
I
it.
don't. Vigil's not a sailor. Don't you worry. Besides, the Vigil shipping hasn't yet begun.
Oliviana looks slightly hurt.
Aw.
No, she's fine.
Hey, that's not a ship. He's already said.
Yeah.
I apologize.
And she is like, once you've had that conversation, she works with you happily again. Like she's completely chill with the situation.
Yeah.
Um, but yes, there is smoke on the horizon, and coming up on deck, you see it is a thick column of dark black smoke. 2 C's. Uh, no, and it's clearly more than would come from a vessel.
Look out at it. Does that look like... I know fire. Is that a town burning?
I mean, now you say it,
Um,
it's something big. It's something on that scale.
that's not good.
No, it's not.
Why is that town on fire? Not a town over there.
Do they have a spyglass? Do they have a...
Yeah.
He does have it's a full,
Yeah.
I'm one armed.
Oh, hell yeah.
needlessly long. You kind of take a look. By the charts, we're heading instead to Deadriver.
I will
I think
eagerly grab it out of his hand.
Okay. Taking a look through the spyglass, which has some incredible magnification. You can see it's still small. It's still quite distant, but you see the ruins of a burning town.
Weren't we like close to Deadriver? Is that Deadriver?
I believe so. It's the only major settlement on this side of the coast.
Oh boy.
Passing guys.
He yells out orders to immediately begin turning away.
You want
Did
to-
I only see smoke, or did I get a...
Make me a perception check.
Like, was I close enough to, like, resolve buildings and stuff? Perception... Natural 1.
Not
My
much,
God.
unfortunately. It was amid the haze of everything. You could tell it was a burning town. You think it looked like sort of a harbour.
Captain, how far are we as I pass the spyglass to Soren or Vigil, whoever wants it?
Need somebody to hold it up for me, but I can look through it.
I'll hold it.
Wait, you're... Oh. Wait.
Really
Close
long.
enough that if we can see the town might be able to see us. And if it's been made, well, I don't particularly want this ship being associated with such a hive of scum and villainy as that.
I looked through the spyglass. That's an 11.
I will finally give it a go. Hey,
Wow.
we're all blind.
It's a burning town.
Do you want us to go
One,
check it out, or
2.
we're just gonna sail on past?
I want to go.
If you'd like, but we're going to continue sailing.
We have to think about this, gents. How are we going to get to anywhere beyond civilization here?
Yeah, I bust out the map.
This is
That's
going
it.
to stay.
This is exactly what I'm thinking is... Would it be reasonable while they sail around this, if we get caught up with them like here?
Yeah, actually, that is what Hector was going to suggest. If you're willing to investigate. So, kind of the route you sailed is kind of like that. He then takes a sharp nope. And he's proposing he essentially does that.
How far is this from Deadriver? to
Yeah,
the other
not
side?
having the scale on the map is fucking with me. Is this 30 miles or 3?
Says it'll take him sort of about a day and a half to sail around that point, sort of that spit of land.
Okay.
Which, given the speed difference between the ship and the carpet, you should be able to make a rendezvous on the other side.
What's
I want to
the
check it out.
terrain like through here? Is this desert? Is it?
Yes.
Great food and water on our own. Good for that.
There's heavy dunes deeper in, but by the coast it's all flat deadland. There's an old river valley. It's a fair way into the land that, well, it's where the town gets its name. But you'll need access to water and supplies. It's
We-
rough going.
We have that.
Of course, your friend here can just conjure it out of thin air.
I literally can, yes.
Yes.
So we'll be alright on that. Anything else we should know about? Any creatures? Angry tribes of dragons? I don't know.
I mean, there are beasts out there. Flesh eaters, I'd be careful.
Great. Listen,
If Deadriver's burning, Aquarius is the only anyone's powerful enough to have this kind of reach.
Do you think a crest like attacked?
I don't know. I thought we had an understanding, but
See that after the Cavoli have gotten a little further reach than we desire.
The world is changing really fast lately. It could be something completely different.
true. For all we know, is a tavern brawl got out of hand.
Back on our side of the rift, there was a guy that could teleport around and set fire to entire towns by himself. So maybe he's back.
oh god, I hope. We'll go have a look and we'll see you on the other side, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have a wizard that can literally look back in time through fire, so it's probably good for us to look at.
Give you a report on the other.
Well, you're a nifty bunch to have on board.
Say a day and a half.
Yes. Other outside of the point, we'll have some flares we can send off if need be.
Perfect. We can find you. We've got magic.
If we're gonna be delayed, I'll shoot you a sending.
Very good.
Or literally, we can wait. We don't need to fly out. We can go teleport to boat. Like
Doesn't
we have.
yeah, the teleportation should work on this side of the rift, right? Should be fine.
Yeah.
In theory, yeah.
Sure, in theory. All right.
End up on this side. The thing is ending up on the mishap and ending up in the drink.
Yeah.
Bloop.
The mishap table's pretty big, so flying might be safer.
Mm.
And you have like 2 mishap rolls now, because the inherent mishap and then your one-armed mishap.
Yeah. Actually, teleport's just verbal, so actually we're good there.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone, Captain, that we should look for? Any contacts? I mean, this is a hive of villain, as you mentioned. Who should we trust?
Well, there was a brown scaled. I'd hope. Woman by the name of Bertrax.
Dragonborn?
Yes.
Crown scaled, you said?
Hmm.
Okay. And she knows you.
Yes, she was the bad luck to talk about in the past tense. She is the owner and proprietor of the Backstabber. Finest in that shizzle. Which doesn't say much, but
I'm sorry, what kind of dragonborn? Ram scaled?
Brown.
brown.
Oh, okay. Jesus. Brown scaled dragonborn. Owner of the Backstabber. Okay.
It was considered neutral ground for competing interests.
Right. Where about in the town was it? Just so we can.
Central, biggest building there.
Okay. We may get in touch.
See you in a day. And some.
Will do.
See you
Stay
then.
safe.
Hop on the carpet with you guys, since flying on my own is probably a bad idea right now.
Are we faster if we split up? We are, right? Or no?
No, because Soren's
Not particularly.
slower flight speed on the broom.
Actually,
But I think his slow flight speed on the broom is still carpet speed.
Enzo,
The slowest factor is the carpet, limited to 30.
actually, Enzo, maybe you should have the.
Are you sure?
Well, I can't really use it in cast. And aren't you look kind of weedy these days?
I'm also not as much of a spellcaster as you. I can do a few, and then I'm down to cantrips.
So you need to be on the ground then.
Yeah, there's a reason I'm in there with my dagger every time we fight.
Okay, well, have a think about it. Can I fly on it, like, without falling off? It's just casting spells on it would be really difficult, right?
Yeah, you can passively use it, but taking any action whilst on it might be
Didn't
difficult.
you say that it's the acro to fall off, and you're gonna give him disadvantage or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
But
can fly it, but not stealth.
his flying speed is not reduced. It's still 50, or is it 30?
Yeah.
It might not be the best idea to do this now, because if we start flying towards this thing now and shit goes down, it might just be better. Like, we're not in any huge amount of rush to get there, and a difference between half an hour and 40 minutes. So I think we might as well just take the broom, not the broom, the carpet with all of us.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think also the carpets I checked carrying capacity 800 pounds. It can carry all of us.
I mean, Vigil is 300 max with his armor.
Mhm.
Soren weighs
Soren-
130.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Plus
and Soren
10.
is a hundred pounds soaking wet.
Kinda, yeah.
I know what these weights mean.
7 stone and 3 jiffies.
Actually, Soren is 150. He's gained some weight. People making him eat on a regular basis probably helps.
Okay. You begin your flight.
I'm on the carpet with everybody.
How many miles are out we? That was sentence structure.
Wow.
You were still a couple miles out. So it takes, about 45 minutes to get there. Flying over the waves.
That's coming low, so we're less likely to be seen.
Glimmer be invisible.
Okay. Enzo, can you make me a stealth check, please?
Sure. Besides the smoke, is it a sunny day?
There's some cloud cover, but mostly clear.
Cool. What season is it? Isn't it approaching winter?
It is.
Okay, so it's probably not hot. But we are by a desert. Sorry, you said stealth.
Yes, please.
24.
Damn.
Okay.
We should paint the bottom of our carpet blue and the top white, like they do with, the top would be like land colored. But yeah.
Okay.
It does have a very small cross-sectional area. I cast Suppress Radar Signature.
Okay. As you approach, you get to within about half a mile of the town. Things start becoming clearer. There was once a sprawling, not much height to any of the buildings. A lot of one-story structures that have long since. They went up pretty quick by the looks. You can see there is the wreckage of 2 ships in the harbour.
What
Focus at the harbour's mouth.
what size type of ships are we talking?
There is one is looks like a kind of a sloop, kind of a single mast, shallow draft. It's a coastal runner, but one is a 3-mast ocean-going ship.
Does it conceivably look like?
No.
Does it conceivably look like maybe they got into a battle? Are they close enough? The right angles?
Investigation check.
Not that I'm exactly a naval warfare expert, but 22.
22. They are in the harbour mouth nose to nose. It looks like they have been scuttled there intentionally.
Shit.
And due to them being half sunk in water, are less damaged by fire.
I think those ships were scuttled. The fuck?
That's a perfectly good ship.
You think maybe scuttled ships? Did they attack or defend? Did they fight each other? This is strange.
Like they were trying to block the canal off. Gate, maybe? Oh. Ooh. There's a turn.
That's grim.
Are they in our way? Will we fly by them?
Yes, you will fly almost directly over them.
Let's go even low. Well, yeah, let's fly right next to them and see if we can spot any, markings, insignia, like
Bodies.
who's. Yeah. Survivors.
Okay. As you fly closer, 2 things come into view. One, there are figures hanging from the mast. And on the side of the galleon, in large white letters, is a phrase in Draconic.
I can read that. What's it say?
It reads, oh. My brain went entirely blank. I had a thing in my head, and in the moment destroyed it.
It
some
reads
reason.
Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Burma
It's a
shade.
big advertisement.
Stop at Bernard.
Eat at gals. Oh, and if you want, we could take the break here and then.
That's so, yeah. Sorry, I had a thing in my head. My brain. It's been a long day. Let's go for a break as you sail up and see the somewhat horrid scene of.
Okay.
And they are bodies. They are
Hanging from the mast.
hanging bodies that look like they've been hanged from the mast.
Grim.
Delightful. All right. Well, on that note, folks, we'll be back in a minute. See you then.
Yay!